Welcome to On Air with Kate Butler, where we are revealing life's best kept secrets. Welcome back to On Air with Kate Butler. I am your host. I'm so excited to dig into today's episode. It is going to be all about being brave, and we have the absolute perfect expert here today to guide us through how do we do this? How do we take these steps? Is it big steps? Is it little steps? Well, she's going to tell us every single thing that we need to know. It is my absolute honor and pleasure to introduce Ann Tyler, who is a certified Canfield Success Principles trainer, speaker, and coach based in Minneapolis, Minnesota. She's on a mission to help women entrepreneurs shake off their doubts, step into their brave selves, and claim the bold, authentic lives they deserve, one baby brave step at a time. With a mission to help women feel seen, heard, and deeply understood, she works to guide them in uncovering the authentic, fulfilling lives they are meant to lead, and believes that when women support each other, incredible things happen. She's committed to creating a safe space where women can begin building the life of their dreams. Her message is very clear. Courage doesn't have to be loud to be life-changing. She is the proud mom and grandmom, if you can absolutely believe it. I'm not sure I do. To the loves of her life, two amazing daughters and two wonderful grandkids who keep her very busy. And welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Kate. It's really nice to be here.
I'm so happy to have you here, and I'm really excited to introduce you to our audience. You are also a best-selling author, and people may know about your story having read it, but it's a whole different thing to hear your story in different conversations and different platforms. So I'm really, really excited that you are joining us today. So let's start off by diving right in. Our audience is very used to that. So what is the most valuable lesson that you feel like you've learned in your career?
Oh, um, I would say the biggest thing I have ever learned is to just trust your intuition. I'm going to end up saying that a lot during this. Trusting your intuition is just something not to be taken lightly, I guess. It can be taken lightly, but don't take it too lightly because it's easy to take it for granted.
I totally agree. I totally agree with that. Your intuition is truly your guidance system, right? And it literally never leads you wrong. You may not know why at the time it's guiding you to something, but truly it is there to serve us. It is so interesting, I feel like, and probably through a lot of the work that you do with people, especially with these baby brave steps, that there is a real clear distinction, though, right, between being fearful of something and your intuition guiding you, right? And so a lot of times people can confuse them, right?
Mhm.
Is my intuition telling me not do this, or am I just really scared of taking that next step? And so through this personal growth and this personal work, you start to become really clear, and you can identify, I think I'm scared of making that step because this is really what I say I want, right? And this is really
Mhm.
what I keep envisioning for myself, right? And then it's like, okay, that's fear. Would you agree with that?
I would agree. I think another really important thing I've
Yeah.
learned is to have a plan and just make a plan, even if you don't know what the heck you're doing or the how or what, because it is I keep forgetting how amazing it is, how all the little things kind of all the ideas come into your head when you're sitting down to create a plan. And
Uh-huh.
even if it's not perfect, it's imperfect, but having a plan. So I think it works much better in conjunction with your intuition because
Hmm.
they balance each other. And
Love that.
there's just so many moments I can look back and think, I knew I needed to leave that job, that friendship, that relationship. I knew, but I didn't feel like I had a backup plan.
Ah, I love that.
So
That's
it keeps you
beautiful.
stuck
Yes.
if you don't have a plan, even if it's not perfect.
Absolutely, right? Because I always say you can always change your plan, but only if you have one, right?
Hmm.
Otherwise, you're
Very
just
good
out
saying.
there loosey goosey. No
Right.
loosey goosies. We need a
That's a
plan. I
that's
love
a
it.
really good saying.
Okay. And so, tell me, you mentioned friendships, right? Or the personal world. So, what is one of the most valuable lessons you feel like you've learned in your personal life?
Oh, I think it's actually being able to be quiet with yourself
Mm.
Because if I'm a people person and I like to be around people a lot. I also don't mind the introspection and that sort of thing. But I think it's something as we get older, we get busier and busier, and it's easy to let things slide. And that personal audit of, is this working for me? Is this not working for me? Is this working for me? Is this not working for me? I think that takes a consistent audit of seeing what's working, and that includes relationships and how the communication is going, or what you actually want out of the relationship, or what you're bringing to the relationship. If you're bringing what you want, if it's in alignment with how you really want to, have a relationship or not. And a lot of times we don't take the time to really take a hard look at those things. And sometimes we think, maybe I'm not showing up in the way that I would love to be showing up, or maybe this other person I don't feel good around this person. So I think those are sometimes hard questions that we like to avoid. I've done it.
Yeah,
So it gets us into
beautiful.
trouble.
That's yeah, that I
Yeah.
really appreciate that. It's something very tangible and applicable that anyone can take today and say, I'm going to evaluate my relationships today. I'm going to audit my relationships right now, the people that are closest to me, the people that are on the peripherals, right? Like,
Mhm.
let me audit this. Am I getting what I want out of it? Am I putting in what I want to put in, right? It's an exchange, everything's an energetic exchange, right? So how is this exchange going? And is it serving? Do I want this to continue? I love that. I think that's a really, really important tool. So what's one thing that people don't know about you?
I have the first thing that comes to mind is something kind of quirky. This actually, the Belief Beyond, doing that book with you, is not my first book. It's my first writing in a book. But something that a lot of people don't know is that I was actually on the cover of a romance novel book, and you wouldn't know that by looking up my name. It was a different thing, but it's really fun to be able to have done that. It's just one of those cool things that you would
How
have
did it
never
come
known.
about?
Well, I was working with some agencies for voice work and stuff while I was when I in my radio days, and would do some print stuff as well. And the author or the publisher chose me, and it was in a park just a mile away that they photoshopped. It was like, it's called Love Finds You in Deadwood, South Dakota. So it looks like there's like tumbleweeds, and
I
it's really
love
at a
it.
park within a mile away. So it was a fun experience. It was
It's
just,
incredible. I
yeah,
love that fun fact. That is
yeah,
such a fun
weird,
fact.
weird, but kind of a fun thing to be like, hey, I was on a romance.
That is such
Yeah,
a fun fact. I
just
absolutely love
goofy,
that.
just
Yes,
goofy
that's
and fun.
very cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so in your chapter of Believe Beyond, you gave your younger self advice on how to keep her braver, bolder self. What is your favorite on that list?
Oh, there were two that I was kind of debating
Give
between.
us both.
Okay. So one of them is don't, and these are both honestly both advice pieces that I wrote to myself, because I thought, you know what, these are things I'd love to hear as my younger self, but I could use them continuously. So I figured other people could too. So the first one, don't take in the lies that are all around us in the world, in this world. They originate from unoriginal ideas from people who don't take time to question the norm.
Mm.
And the second, forget what everyone around you expects you to do. Forget what everyone around you thinks you should do. You know what you should do. You know what you need to do to move into the direction of what you want. Do it. One baby brave step at a time. Your boldness is still there.
Mm. I love that. Tell me more about these baby brave steps. Where does that come from?
So I don't know. I don't know why baby brave steps just really stuck in my head. Maybe a year or so ago. I've tended to, for as long as I can remember, I've tended to be somebody it has to be all or nothing. And I don't always catch myself being in that mode, the perfectionist mode. And what happens is, of course you can't do it perfectly. And there's a lot of things that you can maybe be really happy with, but what it ends up doing is keeping you stuck and stopped. And I know that from personal experience very well. If it's not done a certain way, I just won't do it. I'll find many other excuses to not do it. So the the idea behind baby brave steps is certainly not a new, thought, but just really a reminder to take things. Sometimes a baby brave step for you is different than it is for someone else. Sometimes a baby brave step for me may be terrifying to you. Maybe a baby brave step for you is absolutely terrifying to me, or I'm saying it the opposite way, but it's just different for different people. Everybody has their own different thing that they're most fearful of, or the things that they're more comfortable with based on their own experience. But I think the thing is there are going to be days where you feel like a bold badass and you can, make your quantum leaps. And then there's other days where you can maybe feel like you can't really get out of bed, and you need to honor yourself for either getting out of bed or making that one phone call. And 5 years down the road, you could be looking back and thinking, geez, that changed the entire trajectory of my career or my life or my relationship. There's many moments I can look back on that, you didn't know it at the time, but it was that one little thing that got you to the next little thing, the next little thing, and maybe a quantum leap, and then the next little thing, the next little thing. It keeps the sense of hope too, and hope is everything. Once you lose your sense of hope, it's hard to stay attached to your vision, hard to stay attached to your goals. I mean, everything is. I think it's just such a. I think the little things are just the big things, and I wish I have my fridge over here. I wish I could see the quote. There's a quote I have on my fridge that I want to quote the guy properly. It's Robert something. Enjoy the little things. Well, you can, because one day you're going to realize they're the big things, something to that effect.
Mhm.
And I think that is such an important thing for myself to remember and us to live by. And those are different things for different people.
Absolutely. How beautiful. Okay, so tell us, what project would you undertake if you had unlimited resources?
Ooh, I mean, it feels very lofty, especially in our current day. I would completely eradicate any abusive behavior, completely, from romantic relationships, from friendships, from workplaces. I would make it where there's just absolutely, that's just not even a thought anymore. If I had every resource in the world, that would happen.
Hmm. Wow.
And
Wow, wow, wow.
nobody would have to worry about that. We'd have the stressful things would just, everybody'd come together, and it'd just be a whole hell of a lot more fun.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
tell me about, what is your favorite way to work with people or serve people or help people in this beautiful work that you do?
So one-to-one private coaching. I do a 12-week coaching program all about having you come out the other side, a braver you,
Mm.
and what that means for you. And workshops, I really enjoy bringing a group typically of women entrepreneurs who are in small business. And there's something electric that happens when like-minded women are together,
Mm.
men and women too, but my happy place is women entrepreneurs, and particularly those that have been in an abusive or toxic situation to have a place to come and think about what's next in their chapter for their business, and to actually curate their dream life together.
Mm.
So
And creating that safe space for them to do so.
creating, yes, I'm glad you said that. Creating safe space is a huge part of what I do, because that's a foundational part of actually being able to sit there and think through business ideas when you actually have that safe space.
Wow.
Absolutely
Yes.
imperative. Yeah.
It is imperative,
It is.
right? Because you have to feel safe in your environment. Your root chakra has to be, activated and clear and all of that for you to be able to
Mhm.
go up into your creativity and then your power source and your communication and your forward thinking and vision, right? Like it all starts with the root of it, right? And
Mhm.
that's,
Yes.
that's where that derives from, that
Yes.
saying, right? Right, the root of it, like that's where it is, right? But we have a root too, right? Would you agree with that? And you're helping them really kind of take care of the root of it so that they can then flourish.
Yes, and I think
Yeah.
one thing I've realized as a participant in thing because I'm always going to be I need these things. I love them. I love being in a room with like-minded people where there's a synergy that's created. And when I am the one curating it, it's such, I mean, either way, participant or trainer, it's such a cool thing to watch that you can see so many other women who didn't even realize how lacking they were in having a safe space in their life,
Mhm.
certainly in their business and friendship and family. I guess it feels like I hear that a lot. And you don't really realize how much you needed that safe space until you're sitting in the seat.
Yeah. So you've mentioned this brave you a lot. What does it
Mhm.
mean to you? What is your brave you? What does that mean to you?
My personal brave view changes, day to day sometimes, or season to season. There's different things I'm working on, and as you or you can have things that knock you down in life where your, braver you could be, it's not as maybe high up as your braver you when you're on your game. So
Love
it's
that.
there's different tiers of it. So I think the braver you just means that you're feeling really in integrity. And integrity is the
Mm.
best way to say it. You're feeling really in integrity with yourself, meaning you're doing what you came here to do and you're doing here, or you're doing or being the person you came here to be. And, we have our goals change and goals get bigger. And as we get hit different goals, of course, they become bigger. We want more things. We want more things and we expand and we expand. And then there's other moments, like I mentioned, where you get knocked down a little bit and the braver you, maybe takes a back seat a little bit and the braver you means a different thing. It doesn't have to mean that you are, any less brave. It's just you're handling different things. So,
Wow. Very insightful, very insightful. Okay. And so this is On Air with Kate Butler, revealing life's best kept secrets. And so in revealing life's best kept secrets, Anne, can you share with us the best piece of advice someone has given you?
I'm going to come right back to trust your intuition. It has all, I've gotten many pieces of amazing advice, and the best ones all are some variation of trust your intuition. There's one in particular that stands out when I was in one of the hardest times of my life. And every time I think about it, I'm brought back to it. She said to me, "You know your truth."
Mm.
And in that moment and in the context, it meant everything to me
Mm.
because for somebody to say, you know what you're doing, you know what's best for you. And sometimes we forget that that's okay to even say to ourselves because it's crazy to say that, but the way
Right.
our world is, or just even the people, sometimes well-meaning, sometimes not well-meaning people around us can make you question your judgment, even if you're pretty strong in your will and your judgment. I mean, it creeps in.
Absolutely.
We're human. We
Mhm.
like to think everybody else is rational, and that isn't always the case. And so, bringing it back to use your intuition, get in touch with your intuition, and keep getting back in touch with your intuition. It's not just a one and done scenario.
Beautiful, beautiful advice. I love that. So you're offering a gift today. Would you
Yes.
like to share about that?
Yes, so I am offering a 1 hour bravery breakthrough session with me, just to kind of see what it would be like to work
Mm.
together and see if it might be a right fit, and or you can move on and take what we do and put it in your life, and yeah.
I love this so much. And so we're going to drop the LinkedIn link below where you can go ahead and send Anne a message on LinkedIn, mention Kate's podcast, mention this podcast, anything around that. And we'll put all that information in the show notes. So it's very easy for you to access and find. Anne, thank you so much for being here today. I absolutely love hearing you talk about Braver You, these baby brave steps. I think what you are creating here is just very, very profound. I think that this is information that every single person in the world needs in their life in some way. I really, truly believe that. Now I know that your heart, works with us, and you have a mission, right? To work with people maybe that have been in tough relationships, abusive relationships, toxic relationships, right? And are looking to go beyond that, and build an extraordinary life for themselves, right? But I really think that everyone in the world, whether they've been in that environment or not, can use the advice and the tools and the tips that you are providing here. So thank you so much for coming today to share all of this with us. It is just always incredible to hear your insights. And it's always a pleasure to spend time with you.
Thank you, Kate. It was wonderful to be here.
Ann Tyler, everyone. Again, she is a certified Success Principles trainer. She is a speaker. She is a coach. And as we have already seen here today, she is helping you step into your braver self, one baby brave step at a time. Clearly, in spending this time with Ann today, you already can sense and feel that she makes you feel seen and heard and deeply understood in a safe environment where you can truly uncover your most authentic self so that you can live that fulfilling life that you were meant for. What an absolute pleasure to have Ann Tyler on today. Reach out to her on LinkedIn. Definitely take advantage of that generous gift that she is offering here. And I want to thank all of you for being with us during this time. We will see you next time. Thank you, everyone. Take care and bye-bye. Thank you so much for listening today. I would love to connect with you on social, and you can find me on Instagram and Facebook under Kate Butler Books. If you're interested in accessing some life-changing tools and techniques, you can grab those right off of the homepage of my website for free, and that is katebutlerbooks.com. And you can always check back here to download new episodes from our podcast right here where you listen today. Until next time, thank you for making this world a better place just by being you.